Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we were working on our power source for Mekanism. I can't jump over that wall anymore. We were working on our power source system for Mekanism, which involves us using a gas burning generator and ethylene. I've got a good bit of ethylene kind of stored up. Yay, it stopped raining in the overworld. And we can start working on getting some new machines and whatnot for Mekanism and upgrading things and all that kind of fun stuff. We've now collected all 4 of the space metals, and last time we went to Titan to try to get some titanium, and well, turns out it is actually there. You can find it between, okay, so to kind of explain how I went through all this, I knew that it was on Titan, and I went into the config files and looked into where to find it, see if I could find where to find it and make sure that it was actually on Titan. It spawns fairly rarely, every like couple of chunks, and it is between Y levels under 16, basically. And so I have 11 Rutile Ore, which is titanium. We're going to see how to process it in a little bit, but I just want to point out, let's go over to our mining area. Excuse me. So one of the big things with this Rutile Ore is it is a pain, an absolute pain to actually find buried in the walls, because it looks very much like the stone. There's not much texture to it, but it mines pretty easily, and I was able to find a little bit of it. Not much, but honestly, I don't know if it's going to be good enough to use the Rutile Ore instead of the bauxite and all that fun stuff, because it takes a lot of bauxite to actually get any titanium. Whereas this, we should be able to, and this is what I want to experiment with, we should be able to turn it directly into titanium. Now, we don't want to use the electric arc furnace for 2 big reasons. One, this is going to be incredibly slow, and I don't want to do that. Also, I was making conduit stuff. There's a couple of things I want to do today, and it's going to require some automation, potentially. But one thing I did do, and I'll talk, we'll get to that in a second. Let's worry about the Rutile Ore first. So Rutile Ore. So if we look at what else we can use this with, we can crush it supposedly into either powdered rutile or titanium dust. I'm not sure which will actually happen, because NEI often lies in this mod pack especially. We can arc furnace it into 2 titanium. Grinder, I'm not going to use that. Crusher. So there's a good way, there's a lot of ways to get ore duplication, but the problem is, if we get rutile, rutile is not titanium, and in order to make it titanium, we need to do something with it. So this powdered rutile we can combine with magnesium dust to make titanium. And the problem with that is getting magnesium dust. The only way I can really find to get it, is it small piles? No. So I just have to find the right type. So we can centrifuge it from marble, or electrolyze it from peridot or pyrope dust. Pyrope dust comes from red garnet, centrifuging that, which I don't really want to do, but peridot is easy enough to get. We could get it from, for example, basalt, but nah. We have peridot ore, and peridots you can also get from sapphire ore. So peridots are not that hard to get mass quantities of, but we should be able to make this titanium directly anyways. The only thing that I want to make sure is, if we do somehow get, say, the powdered rutile, it would give us 4 for each ore. Oh man, that's not bad. I just want to test to see that this will give us 2. And it's pretty slow. But that's not too bad. If this gives us 2, that's something we can kind of consider. Okay, it does. So if we want to be lazy, we can get 2 titanium for each or we can go the route of I didn't realize it was going to give us 4 titanium per ore if we get some magnesium, which the question is how much peridot do we have? And if we look at sapphire ore, we have 800 sapphire ore. That's not too bad. But we also have, if we just look at peridot ore, 176. So either way, not too bad. So I think what we'll do is kind of combine those as we need to. And I'll do a lot of that kind of stuff off camera. Now, next thing I want to do is I set up a little bit of automation. And I got to remember why I was setting that up. What was I making that required... Oh, right. I remember now. Okay. So I set up a little bit of automation for a calculator. And it is just the docking station with the standard calculator. So docking station always outputs energy top, bottom. Left is first slot for the normal calculators. Right is second slot. So I just have this little setup. Should be fine. And we only have one thing in there for right now. Now, eventually we will probably get... I'm going to kind of figure out how I want everything to be in here so that we can have as few interfaces as we can get away with. But we need to hook this one up. And should not be a problem. Hey. Okay, I was going to say, that's not a good sign, but that should be connected now. And so we should be able to make the enriched gold. And there's a bunch of other things that we're going to need to do. And I'm going to be pretty slow about getting all this stuff kind of up and running. But enriched gold, we can now make. All right, so that tells me that we can make the thing that I actually need, which is... Well, okay, let's just get to what I want to start making, and that is compacting drawers. I'm going to want about 10 of these. And we're going to need a ton of reinforced iron and reinforced stone. So I need to teach the system how to make those. So the reinforced stone is easy enough. We're going to go for cobblestone and wood. So cobblestone and wood logs. We're going to use oak wood. Make us reinforced stone. 4 of them. I do believe. Yes. And then we're going to get a reinforced stone and a iron ingot will give us reinforced iron. And that's going to be how we get that. So both of these should be able to go in here just fine. And now we should be able to make the compacting drawers. I went ahead and I got all of the dense obsidian plates. Or at least I got some of the obsidian plates. It's going to make everything else, so that should be fine. Now, why do we want the compacting drawers? Well, because of this storage room. I want to work on the storage room between episodes, getting as much blocks, like all the stone and all that kind of stuff, kind of taken care of. I'm going to want to make upgrades, storage templates, all that kind of fun stuff. Luckily, most of that stuff, if we look at storage drawers, most of the stuff is pretty easy because it's just wood and chests. And so nothing's too difficult there. I can automate that if I need to. The trim is just wood. And then getting the upgrades, that's going to take actual ore and whatnot, but that should not be too bad to do either. I might automate some of that stuff. And then the only other thing that we'll need is a drawer controller, which should not be too bad to do. And the plan is this. I want to put all of our ores in here as well. Now that is going to mess up the applied logistics system. Compacting drawers, let me demonstrate, I guess. This might be the easiest way. Let's get just a little bit of, let's say, iron. So if we put a compacting drawer here and we fill it up with iron, we get iron blocks, and iron nuggets. That is wonderful. That way we can take out any crafting recipes that say, hey, we need to make blocks of, for example, redstone. Redstone blocks are used quite a bit. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Diamond blocks for diamantine, all that kind of stuff, we don't have to worry about. But what's the catch? Well, the applied logistics system isn't smart enough. when it looks at this, if I look at this, it sees a stack of iron, it sees 7 blocks of iron, and it sees 576 iron nuggets. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the system doesn't actually know that there's not 7 blocks plus 64 plus 576 nuggets. It thinks that there is all of this, when in reality, it's just a stack of iron that gives us 7 blocks. So it can mess up, but the solution to that is actually pretty easy. Or I guess it's 3 stacks of whatever, however much iron there was. But the solution to it is actually pretty easy. You just have more stuff. The big mass quantities of stuff that if it requires blocks and dust or nuggets and ingots and blocks or whatever, just make sure you have enough before you tell it to make a lot. So it's not a big deal, but that's something I'm going to work on between episodes. So let's start looking at Mekanism. And I don't know why I'm going to go over there, because what I want to do, actually, let's go over there for a second. There is a handful of things that we're going to want to start doing, and that is, okay, so we don't have, we'll want to make a crushing factory. So we're going to want to make some stuff from Mekanism, like the smelting, the energized smelter, that's what it's called, energized smelter. So this is how we are going to get all of our smelting stuff. We're going to run it through Mekanism, and the reason for that is because of factories. So what I want to start looking into is tier 1, or what are they called? Tier installers. So these tier installers are super duper useful and just flat out amazing. Now we're going to want, if we take a look, metallurgic infuser. This is probably one of the most important machines. We're going to want, I think, 4 of these. So we're going to need one for coal. Don't care about turning tin and copper into bronze, because we can do that otherwise. And there's multiple recipes for that, because you can do tin dust with copper. I guess it's just different bronze. We're going to want one for diamond. So diamond dust, or compressed diamond to be precise, to make refined obsidian dust. And I think there's a couple other recipes for that. So we're going to need those 2. This is the one we want coal for. So we can take compressed carbon with enriched iron to make steel dust. And that is a very quick and easy way to get steel. And then diamond turns enriched alloys into reinforced, so that's another reason. We're going to need the compressed obsidian to get the top tier, the atomic alloys, so that's a 3rd one. And redstone for the basic tier stuff, so that's 4. Is that all we're going to need? And by the way, the enriched iron is also coal with just normal iron. So coal is just to get mostly steel. So that's not as important, but we're going to want 4 metallurgic infusers, and we're going to turn them into factories. The reason being that we're going to want a lot of factories. So basic tier installer requires some chrome, and otherwise is not that hard. Advanced tier takes iridium ingots, and then the elite is tungsten steel. Ooh, that is kind of nasty. How can we get iridium ingots easily? We can get it from iridium ore. Industrial grinder. There's got to be some good ways. There's got to be a tricky way to get the small piles of platinum dust. We can get it from iridium ore, but we really can't get iridium ore. Otherwise, we just use iridium. So yeah, that is the iridium nuggets we can get from sheldonite ore in the industrial grinder, or from platinum dust in the centrifuge. And we can get platinum dust, I'm pretty sure. Nickel ore. Yeah, grinding up nickel, we can get platinum, or from platinum ingots. That is worth a shot. Because I have plenty of nickel. Do we have any, like, platinum ore? No. Okay. Fair enough. So let's put this in the double crusher. And we'll come back to that in a moment. So, these installers, I want to see if we... we're going to make a basic tier, and then I want to try to make an advanced tier. So, these are going to be something I want to teach the system how to make. And it's definitely going to be useful. But we're going to just take one of these. And let's go improve our metallurgic infuser. So we have a piece of powdered platinum. That is good. I don't mind running a little bit of that stuff through just to see what we can get. But what the basic tier installer and what the factories do is we can install this on here, and we'll get a basic infusing factory. And what that does is it increases the number of slots we have. So with the infusing stuff, the metallurgic infuser, we only have one infusing material. So for example, we're going to need 4 of these in total. But kind of the cool thing with that is we can process things. It is 3, 5, and 7 times, like 7 recipes at once. So we're going to want probably at the very least the basic tiers, if not the advanced tiers. We'll see how hard it is to get a bunch of iridium. And if we can get a good bit, then, I mean, might as well. Is there any other ways? We could crush this. We could crush that in the crusher. Let's stop auto-splitting. Let's see if that's any better. And if I throw, like, 2 pieces in, will I get 2 pieces of platinum? Is this a 100% chance, or is it not? I do need to make a much better way to get, just put 1 in, to get stuff. No, it is not, but it is faster. So we got 3 from 52. So that's 26. So we'll see how many we get from however many I put in. But yeah, so kind of figuring out the best way to process stuff is always a question. We could make the industrial grinder, but the industrial grinder is kind of a pain because it requires a lot more than it looks like. So yeah, crusher is great. Sag mill has a 10% chance, whereas the crusher has 15, although the sag mill is faster and we can upgrade that with other things. Okay, so didn't get any. That's not good. Let's go to the sag mill and see what we can get. I really need to get a lot of machines and upgrades and all that kind of fun stuff going relatively soon. And we already have more. Sag mill is the where it's at. So this is going to be how we get that stuff. But how bad would it be to make a smelter? An energized smelter. We just need a steel casing. So, and then this powdered platinum, we take to a centrifuge, and 2 give us 2. So it's a 1-to-1. So we need at least 18 of these. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do for the time being. Because this stuff won't go back in. We're gonna just put a push-pull. Put that there. And I'm gonna grab a bunch of nickel ore because why not? And we'll get a bunch of platinum dust that way, hopefully. So this is going to be the way we get iridium ingots, just because I know for a fact we're going to need a lot of iridium later. So I don't really want to use my supply if I don't have to. And this will work just fine. And we can still see this. I'm just going to dump all that stuff in there. Okay, cool. So we'll come back to that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and make an energized smelter. That is going to be one of the machines we want. So machine casing, or I guess it's a steel casing. We want one of these. Let's go ahead and get that. And then theoretically we can just do this. And as soon as this makes the titanium plates, so we have it. There we go. There is the energized smelter. Now we're only ever going to need one of these, and this one we might want to actually get to an elite tier, but I kind of need to go through and decide what machines I want from Mekanism and all that kind of fun stuff. But the energized smelter it's basically just an easy smelter. The reason we're going to use it is because we can upgrade it with the tier installers. So that's pretty much it. And this is going to kick off burning at some point probably. I guess the biogenerator still has fuel. So, and then one thing we're also going to do is we're going to make these garden cloches. We're going to use those to get like pumpkins and stuff, and bring the pumpkins over here to crush, so we can get ethylene and substrate, because we're going to need a lot of substrate later. Anyways, as you can see, like the energized smelter as it is not that important, but it's going to be the easiest way to get a ton of smelting operations done fairly quickly. We could use like a sag mill. This does 3 to 1 time, but it fills up very easily, in which I also have a bunch of conduit binder. I went ahead and made some conduit binder because I needed some. Anyways, alright, so with that taken care of, one thing that I should mention is we need to get okay, so here's the decision we have to make real quick. Do we want to try to get to the next age? The next age is draconic, and we can go ahead and make a draconic core. These are not that hard. Require some end diamonds, a singularity. This is why we need to automate those. Refined obsidian ingot, which is going to require an osmium compressor. That's something I kind of forgot about. So I don't think we have that. I think we're going to wait on that. But I kind of want to get a couple things set up to be a little bit nicer. And definitely need to get this whole system nicer. So let's make our lives a little bit easier. And what I want to work towards today is a digital miner. So the digital miner, one, requires a bunch of really nasty things, including pulsating meshes. Ooh, I didn't realize that one. Okay, so we're gonna have to do B stuff if we want that. We have so many singularities, by the way. We have over a stack of singularities at this point. Yeah, we have 49 in there and 18 in there. That's more than a stack. That's really nice. Okay, so we are going to want to make this digital miner. This digital miner is well worth it. But these teleportation cores, oh boy. We're going to need them quite often, but atomic alloy is easy enough for us to get. That's not a problem. It's just going to be some obsidian and making our way through the alloys. A robot is not too awful. It requires a personal chest. It's just a bunch of steel. It is going to require the refined obsidian ingots, and that's more steel, and energy tablets, which we have automated. We're going to need our quantum quarry, but I kind of want to leave the one we have for now. So we're going to have to make another set of those, because this thing, even though we don't use it all that often, it is a great way to get materials. So, in addition to that, the laser miner, the void ore miner, there we go. That's what it's called. So, oof, we have 61 powdered platinum. That is not bad. Let's go ahead and get the tier installer an upgrade, and I want to see I want to just see something. I want to see if we can go straight to the tier 2 or if we have to make tier 1 first. So all we have to do for this is put the is it powdered platinum? It's in the centrifuge. It's in this guy, which I've been working with for a while. And it's 2 of those each. So that is not too bad. I'm running out of room for like everything. I'll put that there. Alright, so we'll have to come back to that. I guess let's make the osmium compressor. And a lot of this stuff, so the quantum quarry requires iridium reinforced inner casings. It's a lot of really nasty things, but lonzolite, which we have, it's going to require a good bit of iridium. We're going to need 4 of those. And then the quantum quarry requires diamond blocks, stable stone, and a shape card, which requires a bunch of things. You've seen me make that before, so what I'll probably end up doing is making these 5 things off camera, but the digital miner is well worth it. So let's think about this. Let's go ahead and make the osmium compressor. So this guy requires advanced circuits. We need 2 of those, and then another steel casing, which with no crafting. Alright, let's go check on this because I don't know if it's actually working or not. That might be a problem if it's not. There is a chance that it broke trying to do 2 different things. Alright, we're gonna have to filter it. Luckily this one is relatively easy. It's trying to do something else. Alright, that is actually pretty easy to fix. We just need some filters. Basic filters should be fine for now, and just tell it to only accept certain items on each side. And then the other thing is we can do blocking mode. That should work just fine as well. So we're going to need 2 basic filters. We're going to need iron, gold, wood, cobble, reinforced stone, which we'll have to steal one from that, and then redstone dust. Alright, so this should be fine. We put the interface into blocking mode. I had to think about what I was trying to say. So blocking mode. Grab one of those. So filter, whitelist, that, and that. And then this one will get cobblestone, iron, and gold. That should be fine. Put that back, and what messed up? Nothing. Cool. So we can just dump those back in. And we can always put like speed upgrades on this, the like extraction, but it doesn't matter much to me, so who cares? All right. So with that taken care of and fixed, that's just something kind of minor. Wow, we have a lot of nickel, but a good bit of platinum too, so that's nice. All right, so the digital miner, we're gonna need the osmium compressor. And we just need to get the steel casing. And then let's go ahead and grab a little bit of coal and iron. Let's grab a stack of iron. And then steel casing. Go ahead and make that. just needs to make the plates. And then once we have that, then we can go forward. So the osmium compressor, we're going to use this stuff for a moment. And then we're also going to want... cool, there's the osmium compressor. We're going to want redstone. Actually, we can just do the compressed redstone. Diamond, we're going to grab a little bit of this. And obsidian. Now the question is, refined obsidian is obsidian dust. Okay, that's good. So we'll need to teach the system how to make obsidian dust at some point. Once we have things kind of figured out. So we're just going to make some obsidian dust here. And we can start working on getting a lot of the different things. So we're going to need enriched alloy, advanced circuits, and all that kind of stuff automated. Again, we'll worry about a lot of that stuff later. I need to get applied energistics to the mechanism area, and I need to kind of figure out where I want to put this stuff. Because some of it might be below ground, some of it might be above ground. I don't know. I think we might have the power production underneath, and then have like a central place for our energy cube, which is full, by the way, to do everything else. So osmium compressor, we'll go ahead and put here, and then enrichment chamber, we're gonna need diamonds. Actually, let's do coal first, and let's go check on our iridium. So do we have some iridium nuggets? We have 1 ingot worth. So we can turn this into an iridium nuggets. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I want to see what we can actually do with this. How useful is it to do this kind of constantly? So with this, we can make blocks. We're going to need it for some stuff from Tech Reborn anyways. Iridium iron plates. Which, that's not bad. That's okay. We could make weird stuff. Advanced smelting. So to make the factories, you can also, the installers allow you to do this in the world, but you can also make the factories. So all the advanced factories, you just replace the plank with the machine and it will make it. So it looks like it does need to be the basic tier to upgrade it. We're going to test that just to make sure, but we can make iridium plates and get it back to iridium dust. That's not going to be useful. I'm just trying to see if there is a way to turn it into, so we can get the titanium iridium alloy. We are going to need a little bit of iridium for the enchanted ingots, but which we only use for angel rings. But that is, alright, that tells me enough. It's not going to be super useful to do this for the most part, because it's not going to give us what we want, which is to get the iridium. So if we look at the recipe for, this, maybe not that one specifically. This one, the iridium ore. There is not a way to get that outside of UU matter. So good to know. So there is 5. We should have the coal compressed carbon by now. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to make, okay, we have most of it. We're going to take this. We can do auto sort off and on. And each one of these is going to take 10. So we need 8. And we're going to make a ton of enriched iron and then turn that into, enriched, steel. Not enriched, just flat out steel. So once this all is done, we can kind of work on that. What else are we going to want to do? So we have the osmium compressor. The way that works is we take osmium, and we have two options. So refined. So osmium compressor has two recipes. We can make refined obsidian ingots from osmium and refined obsidian, or we can take glowstone and make glowstone ingots. Glowstone ingots are actually really good tier-wise, but they're required for solar stuff and teleportation cores, which is good because that's what we need. So we just basically grab a stack of osmium and go to town on that. Like we can make the glowstone. Refined obsidian is probably going to be better. But I don't know how much this is used. Actually, no, I take that back. It is much better. We need it for draconic cores, which are going to be used for a ton of things. Very, 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 very soon, we can start getting into energy relays, which is going to change a lot of our base. So we might want to look into doing this sooner rather than later, because I can spell energy relays. These things, the basic IO crystals, they require Wyvern tier, and that's not awful, but it's pretty bad. But we can make these and have wireless energy, and I don't remember how they work for sure, but yeah, that's something we're gonna want relatively soon, because that's going to allow us to basically, we can have our main energy sources here, and then we can just send them wirelessly without conduits, and send a lot of power everywhere in our base fairly quickly and easily. It should be really cool, and I'm hoping it looks neat underneath once we get to that point. Don't know when that's going to be, but soonish. Alright, so that is almost done. This is actually almost done too. And once we have a little bit of this, we can make other things. So we should have our iridium by now. And let's go ahead and get that and make our first second tier installer. We have exactly enough. Cool. So I'm going to process a bunch of iridium nuggets, just because this is going to be the easiest way. It's relatively slow, but it's a very easy way to get iridium ingots for this kind of stuff. So if we want, where is my tier installers? There they are. The advanced one. Can we make two of these? No, we need more enriched alloy. I'm going to work a lot on getting everything prepped for the digital miner very soon. So let's go ahead. 8 of those. We're going to get some refined obsidian dust. And then we need osmium. We need a lot of osmium. Let's get like 3 stacks. We do have plenty of osmium to process. I just haven't yet, because I don't have the auto processing up and ready yet. So in here, we're going to just put a stack in there. There is a little bit, I don't know if it's a bug or not, but it doesn't always give you a 1-to-1 ratio. We have some refined obsidian dust now. Now this stuff we can throw into here and get compressed obsidian to get more. So I'm going to do that with the first 8, I guess. We're going to want, that's half a stack. Just do a full stack of this to get the enriched alloys. That's iron. So we need a stack of iron. Whoops. Or we could get 3 more redstone. I think will give us 10 each. But we need a stack of iron. I messed that one up. So I think making a bunch of basic control circuits wouldn't be a bad idea too, but it's not as important right now. So just get a stack of iron. Throw that in there. And I'll put another one in there, and I'll get everything else out with the with the osmium. So I'm gonna just put some osmium in here. Let's see, it's gonna be 5 more osmium. Alright, so once we have, I think 6 should be enough. Let's go ahead and get the tier 2 installer, and that will tell us some important things. And I'm gonna be making a bunch of these over time, so we're gonna want a lot of things from this. So once we get the 2 advanced circuits, we can go from there. And it made all of our drawers. I'm gonna set up the storage drawer system for the most part between episodes, and get a bunch of things out of here, and we'll finish that up next time as well. So at this point, well, some of the big things that we're working towards is just kind of, we're trying to get the base into a lot of automation so that I can request things and get them. We're going to teach the system things like how to make the crafting terminals, because I want a bunch of those. I want basically one of those at every building, so wherever we are, we can access the inventory. So everything's going to be hooked up to Applied Energistics, every single building, and it's going to be interesting. But let's see if this works. It does not. But we can upgrade this one and get a bunch more. So that is nice. So kind of the plan is I'm going to work towards the digital miner. That will be kind of the plan for next episode, and we're gonna need some power transfer. We're gonna need a power source for it, so I'll probably try to make another capacitor bank as well. A lot of that stuff is not too bad. What tier is this? This is a vibrant. I wouldn't mind having a couple more of those just to have more power storage. But we're getting close to, I know this is kind of crazy, we're getting close to the end game stuff, and I don't even have decent power generation or storage yet, just because it's kind of a pain. But I'm going to work on the sorting up the system with the drawers and all the drawer systems and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm going to decide what all we need for Mekanism and plan that out a little bit better. I think we are going to put the energy storage underneath, and then I'm also going to make a bunch of steel with this enriched iron. This is almost done, and the cool thing is you don't actually have to have the same thing. But yeah, as you can see, there are 5. There's input outputs. We can configure everything. It's really nice. So we put that in there, and we put those in there, and this will make steel. So, and then there is upgrades for Mekanism machines. So we can do a lot of cool things. And then the steel we just throw into the energized smelter, or whatever smeltery we want, and it makes steel. That's it. So, yeah, I think that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we didn't get too much done. We kind of spent more of it kind of talking. Things are going to be a little bit more, for lack of a better way to say it, highbrow, in that sense of we got to figure out kind of what the plan is, what we want to do each episode, what we want to work towards. I think next time we're going to work towards the digital miner, and then we're going to start working towards Draconic Evolution so that we can get better power transfer. And all the while, I'm going to do other things that are a little bit more menial, so like the storage system, the drawer storage system, I should say, and setting up automation and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a lot to do. There's still plenty of things we're missing, and decisions to be made, and buildings to be finished, and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's lots to do, but we'll get there. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!